Sawadee-kap. Hello and welcome to Daily Wisdom, Walking the Path with the Buddha. Today, we're going to be discussing the third precept. This is all about sexual misconduct and how you could cause harm through your sexual activity, which would then come back to you. So welcome. I'm glad that you're here. As we study the third precept, it's important to use the original words of the Buddha because he provides illuminating language that's going to help you to understand how you could potentially cause harm through your sexual activity, and then this harm is going to come back to you. But by understanding these natural laws, then you can have sexual activity that isn't harmful. So here's the words of the Buddha on the third precept. Abandoning unchastity, abandoning sexual relations with women, men, who are protected by their mother, father, and father, brother, sister, or relatives, who are protected by their teachings, who have a husband, wife, or partner, whose violation entails a penalty, or even with one who has been garlanded by a man, woman, or partner as a sign of engagement. The first aspect of this precept, you can see the Buddha is talking about abandoning unchastity. What chastity is if you were having sex with no one at all. During ancient times, fathers would have chastity belts on their daughters. This was metal underwear that only the father had a key to. So this individual wouldn't be having sex at all. But unchastity is just the opposite of this. This is where you're having sex with multiple people, maybe multiple partners within a given day or week. Maybe you're running around having sex with lots of different people. And in this situation, if you were doing this, you would be experiencing harm because there's the potential for sexually transmitted diseases. You can get in fights. There can even be murder because people will get attached to you, and it'll be hard for you to be able to navigate this and having sex with all these different people. You're going to experience unwholesome results because of that. So the Buddha is providing you the guidance that it would be wise to essentially have one partner where you have a loyal, loving, committed relationship. And this is going to ensure that you're not doing things that would cause harm, so therefore you will minimize any potential harm that would come to you as a result of choosing to have sexual activity. The next part that the Buddha is talking about is about having sex with minors. If an individual is being protected by their mother, and father, brother, sister, or relatives, this is an individual who's living at home under the care of adult supervision. If you were to have sex with an 8-year-old child or a 12-year-old child, this would cause harm to that individual and to the family because they're trying to raise the child and help them to develop into an adult. And having sex is very impactful. So if you chose to have sex with a minor, in this situation, you're pulling this person away from their family's guidance. And this will cause harm to that individual as well as the family itself. And this is where you can have difficulties. Now, most places in the world, it actually is the law of the government that it's unwise to have sex with minors. You will go to jail for these kinds of things. But remember, the human laws are imperfect, that what we create in a government isn't going to necessarily match with the natural laws of existence. And here, talking about the natural law of Kamma. There are some countries in the world where it's not illegal to have sex with a minor. But if you look at those places, they're really struggling with their government, with their economy, with different aspects of society. They're having challenges because there's people that are having sex regularly with people who are underage and that are minors. And this is the results of the decisions of people in those places that are choosing to have sex with minors. So it would be wise to ensure that you're having sex with someone who's, say, over the age of 18. This would actually be best because then you know that this individual is more developed and they're not being protected by their mother, and father, brother, sister, or relatives. The next part of the precept that the Buddha is describing is ensuring that you're not having sex with someone who has a husband, wife, or partner. In doing so, you would be luring a person away from a loyal, loving, consenting relationship. And in this situation, you're causing harm to the individuals in that relationship. It will be wise, if you're going to choose to have sex, is to have sex with someone who is single. And you're going to need to be sure that that's the case. Because if you're having sex with someone who already has a partner and that partner is finding out about this, this is going to be causing problems in your life because that individual being attached to their partner, they might try to fight you, they might try to beat you up, they might destroy your material possessions, and you can even end up murdered. People have ended up murdered from having sex with someone who's already in a previously existing relationship. So it's best to make sure that before you have sex with someone that they're not involved in any other relationships. The Buddha is also teaching us here to ensure that we're not having sex with someone whose violation entails a penalty. Here, what he's referring to is somebody that you would be forcibly trying to have sex with, because the penalty is going to jail. That if you were going to force somebody into a sexual activity, there's going to be a penalty there where you're going to end up in jail. So you're going to need to be sure that you're not forcing somebody into a sexual encounter, because this is causing harm to that person, and it's going to then result in harm that you're going to experience. And as you're trying to force someone to have sex, this can also produce harm, because this person could beat you up and they could even murder you. So it's best to ensure that if you're going to choose to have sex, that you have consent and that you guys are mutually agreeing to have sex together. The last part of this precept, the Buddha is talking about one who is garlanded by a man, woman, or partner for a sign of engagement. Here, it's an individual who's actually engaged to be married. They're not actually married yet, but they're engaged to be married. If you were to have sex with that type of individual, once again, you're causing harm in this relationship, and there can be harm that comes to you. And it would be really unwise to do that. Even if you're looking to get a partner, if you were to pull a person away from their partner and you think now they're going to be loyal to you, well, they weren't loyal to their last partner. Why would they be loyal to you? So sometimes the mind, with its delusion or its lack of wisdom, thinks that, oh, I'm going to lure this partner away and now we're going to have this great, wonderful relationship. But this person's already comfortable going outside of their relationship to have sex with other people, with you. And now what do you think they're going to do in your relationship? They're most likely going to go out and have sex with other people as well. So if you're looking for a loyal, loving, consenting relationship, which will promote the best harmony in your life, you would like to have one partner at a time. And then if you're choosing to have sex, that's what your choices are. And then when you're done with that relationship, you're done with that, and then you move on to another partner. This will ensure that you're making wise decisions around your sexual activity. As you can see, the words of the Buddha on this third precept are very detailed. They're very illuminating. They're going to help you to guide you in how to make wise choices about your sexual activity. If you'd like to learn more, because there's definitely more to learn around this precept, I invite you to access this book, Developing a Life Practice, The Path That Leads to Enlightenment. Chapter 7 in this book, it's going to help you to understand the 5 precepts in detail, because I talk about paid sexual services, same-gender relationships, transgender individuals, masturbation, and a whole host of other things related to sexual activity. You're going to need that in order to help you and guide you on the path. And then I teach this and I record it through YouTube videos where I'm actually maybe teaching for an hour and a half or 2 hours all the individual 5 precepts. And I go in detail with each individual aspect of the precept. Here, this is just a mini lesson to help you learn a little bit. But I would like to invite you to learn more through the book, through the audiobooks, through the recorded classes, and even the live classes, courses, and retreats. You can go to our website, buddhadailywisdom.com, and you'll be able to access everything from there. So thank you so much for joining for this mini lesson, and perhaps I'll see you in a future class. Be well and take care. สวัสดีครับ